Hello. Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? I see Moji. Good morning, Ma. You're welcome. Good morning. Can you confirm you can hear me? Chinedu, you're welcome. Good morning, sir. Olanrewaju Benga, good morning to you, sir. You're welcome. Cornelius, good morning to you, sir. You're welcome. All right. Let's get right to it. I believe you can hear me. All right. Thank you very much. Odije, thank you, sir. You're welcome. All right. Let's get right to it. Good morning, once again, everyone. Um, Jonathan, good morning. You're welcome, sir. Good morning, ladies. Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning to you, traders. Um, all right. Thank you very much, Cornelius. Good morning to you, sir. Soji, it's great to have you join us today. Um, if you're just joining for the first time, too, good morning to you. It's great to have you join us today. I hope we're doing very well. Um, Again, this is another brand new trading week, and this is our morning market review. This session holds every day, Monday through to Friday from 8 a.m. So on a daily basis, you get to meet with some of our top analysts, and then uh, we use this opportunity to look at what's going on in the markets and as it concerns fundamentals and technicals. And this is also with the hope that we'll be able to pick a few entries and trade ideas and even assets that we can add to our watch list for today and even for the rest of the week. Okay, now this is also with the hope that when you have joined this forum long enough, you'll be able to see the ideas, the thought process towards executing trades, what you need to look out for, check out before you, like the set of rules that you need to follow before you execute your trades. All right. So when you're listening long enough, you'd also be able to do this and come up with your own profitable strategies that would give you an edge over the markets. All right. So without further ado, let's get right to it. Usually, I like to start with the majors, uh, and then from there we start examining other pairs that I'll be watching for trade opportunities. So I'm going to head straight to MetaTrader 4. Just a minute while I do that. All right. I believe we can see my screen. I have MT4 up. Can we confirm we can see it? So I'm sure we're on the same page before we push forward. You could just put MT4 in the comment section so I can confirm we can see my screen. All right, Kenny, thank you very much, sir. All right, thank you, Angel. Thank you, ma'am. Musliudeen. Thank you very much. Okay. All right. We have the USD index up, and the reason I start here is so that this is the USD index. This would help me confirm the direction of the dollar. And once I have a confirmation of the dollar index in terms of direction, I can easily relate this to other pairs, the pairs with USD in them. For example, if the USD index is bullish, then I can expect pairs like Euro USD, Pound USD to be bearish. And if this is bearish, then I can expect those other pairs to be bullish. So that's why I like to start from here to understand direction and then apply this to other major pairs. All right. So this has been, you would agree with me, uh, quite bullish for some time. And then this 107 level now acted as resistance. I'm going to highlight it. All right. Now, if you look back to those same 107 level, here it was also resistant. Here, let's push back a little bit. And then even here, this period, and this was as far back as, let's see, towards the end of 2022, sometime in November, you could see what happened with the 107 level around this area as well. Price pushed above it, and then almost immediately we got back below it, and then that uh, bearish move back to around 100. If you look back to what happened here too, we got a similar scenario. All right. So fast forward to what we currently have. Price also pushed above 107, but ideally, after breaking above 107, we should have continued to see higher highs and higher lows because obviously this is a breakout, breaking above 107 level. But that did not happen. Almost immediately, we also saw price close back below 107. So technically, what that translates to is a false breakout. Okay, a false breakout. All right. And usually, when we get a false breakout like this, it triggers an extended move in the opposite direction. But so far, that is not the case with the dollar index. Now, it's looking like price is now stuck between 106 and 107, 106 support and 107 resistance. So this is going to give us more clarity. If number one, we get it close above 107, then we can expect the bullish move to continue. Or we get it close below 106, then this whole thing would turn bearish. I hope we understand that. So as it is right now, price is stuck between 106 support and 107 resistance, this area. I'm going to do this to highlight it. And then if you also look at what we have here, this is also looking like a head and shoulder pattern. For some of us who have been joining this forum for a while, that should not be strange, head and shoulder pattern. We have used that pattern to identify quite a number of opportunities on Euro AUD, even on gold. on USD JPY as well. So we are seeing a similar pattern right here. Here we have the head, we have the left shoulder, and then the right shoulder right there. Okay, so what would further confirm this would be a break below the neckline, would be a break below this support level, and then this whole thing would turn bearish. However, this would also be invalid once we get a close back above resistance at 107. Now, all of this is on the daily time frame. Okay, so having said that, we switch to Euro USD now. Of course, Euro USD is inverse of that was the daily time frame, so that we can understand the overall direction. That's for Angel. Daily time frame. All right, so now Euro dollar, Euro USD, Euro USD. Okay, so I said Euro USD is inverse of the dollar index that we just analyzed. And you could see how this two is stuck between resistance and support as well. So for this to be more defined, we would also need to see a break above resistance or a break below support to give this some clarity. Right now, we see this ranging, we see this consolidation currently. All right, so to take a close below this support or above resistance to give us more clarity here, just like we have for the dollar index that we just analyzed. You could also see this consolidation here on the dollar index. Okay, so of course, this would also give us opportunity to buy at support and then sell at resistance. Support at this area around price level 1.04575. Yeah, this area, that's the support level. And then we have resistance, this area as well. Okay. So let's head to lower time frame to see what we have. This is what we have on 1 hour. Let's see if we can connect this trend line. Okay. So this is support. This is support. And then the latest one right here as well. Now, this trend line is the diagonal form of the horizontal line. Now, if we use this horizontal line, this green one here to identify this support, we'll be missing out on this and this level as well. So that's why instead of the horizontal line, we switch to the trend line so that we'll be able to pick this support, because obviously price is creating higher lows. Okay, so back at this support, this is the 1 hour time frame now, the same Euro USD. So right about this level, if we get a bullish pattern here, don't forget price on the daily time frame. We started from here on the daily time frame. Price is stuck between this support and resistance, and then we see this consolidation. This also is an opportunity to buy at support and then sell at resistance until we get close above resistance or a close below support. We can continue to buy at this support or sell at resistance. So right about now, price has left the support and is now heading towards this resistance, towards that resistance. Okay, so with that in mind, we switch to 1 hour. This is what it looks like on 1 hour now. So on the 1 hour time frame, we're using this trend line to mark the support level. So I'm using this trend line to mark the support level. So price is now pushing away from that support. So on this 1 hour time frame, we now need more confirmation, which could be a bullish pattern. For example, at the end of this 1 hour, if we have a bullish engulfing pattern, then we can expect price to continue to push higher towards the resistance that we have here on the daily time frame, towards this resistance. Right. Let's see what we have. Okay. Arubi Emmanuel says go to next, please. Okay. Because you asked nicely, let's head over to gold. Okay, so what do we have on gold? Okay. So Kenny too decided to ask nicely for AUDJPY. Okay. So this is gold down. And what do we have on gold? All right. So this bullish move, which is quite obvious. Let me take out these shapes. From this support, you could see series of higher highs and higher lows all the way to this resistance, close to 2,800, close to 2,800. Now, from that 2,800, again, we got, what is it again? This head and shoulder pattern here. Now, if you look at the daily time frame, here, you had the head, left shoulder, and then the right shoulder. If you look at 4 hours, it's clearer on 4 hours. So I'm going to take it back. You say close to that resistance at 2,800. We got the head, the left shoulder, and the right shoulder, and then price broke below the neckline, and then gave us close to 1,000 pips in profits after breaking below the neckline. All right, so that's of course bearish. And then we got this correction back to the neckline of the head and shoulder pattern back at 2713 right here. Okay. Now, this same level, of course, is now active as resistance. You see, this same level here, now active as resistance. And then we also have this trend line support here. Support right here as well. And currently, price is now below this trend line, which means that this trend line is now expected to turn to resistance. Now expected to turn to resistance. Okay. Now looking at this level as well. Looking at this level as well, around 2650. Now let's look back a little bit to see how significant that level has been. Okay, so currently this level is acting as support. So let's see, here it was resistance. You see this consolidation around that same level. Here price broke above it, but closed back below it. Here it was resistance, and then here it was support. Here we see another consolidation around 2650. Okay, so that's to confirm or to show us, highlight why that level is quite significant. Okay, so to have clarity on gold, what we need to see is, don't forget, we currently have this bearish move from resistance. We currently have this bearish move from resistance at 27.13. It has now found support at 26.50. Okay, so number one, we need price to break back below 2650 to confirm that the bearish move will continue towards level like 2600 and maybe even below it. All right. Now, in the event that we get a close back below, a close back above this trend line. Remember, this trend line acted as support multiple times, 0.1, 0.2, and then we got this break below it, which means that this trend line is now resistant, All right, so we have resistance here using this trend line. And then support here at around 2650. So this is going to come down to whether we get a close back below this support at 2650 or back above the trend line resistance. If we get a close back below the support, then we're going to, of course, be looking for opportunities to sell. That would be bearish for gold. We look for opportunities to sell. However, if what we get on the other hand is a close back above this trend line, then that would be bullish for gold. That would be bullish for gold. All right. Now, all of this is happening on the 4 hours time frame. Now, let's check out what we have on 1 hour. Okay. On 1 hour, it's bullish. So at the end of this 1 hour, if we get a bullish engulfing pattern, for example, then we may expect price to push higher. Maybe towards the 50 period moving average. This is the 50 period moving average, by the way. So price may come back to this resistance, and then whatever happens around that resistance would inform our decision for gold. Okay. So I believe that's clear enough. I will be Emmanuel and the rest of us that are interested in trading gold. Those are the levels you need to watch out for. All right. So AUD I'm not sure I have the chart. You're welcome. Yeah, we'll get there very soon, Idris. All right, AUD up now. This is Kenny, AUD What do we have? First, let's check out moving average. Again, period 50, exponential close. Okay, all right. So currently, AUD is below the 50 period moving average. Now that signifies weakness. As is below the 50 period moving average. All right. And then again, I'm going to use this to highlight the horizontal resistance again. Now, see this. This is a support here. But if I'm using the horizontal, if I'm using this horizontal line, I would not be able to pick these other support levels. This is 1. This is 2. And then this is 3. You see, so if I'm using this horizontal line, I'm going to miss out on these other support levels, which are also significant. So that's why instead of the horizontal line, I'll use a trend line so that I can connect these other support levels as well. You see what I mean? And why the trend line is also important, you say. So with this now, I've been able to connect these support levels. All right. So because this asset is below the 50 period moving average, and I said that signifies weakness. Okay. So what it means is that we'll be looking for opportunities to sell below the 50 period moving average. All right. So this is on the daily time frame. What's happening on 4 hours? Okay, on 4 hours, it's above. Okay, so in the short term, what it means is that we can buy in the short term. Don't forget the higher time frames will control the lower ones eventually. So on the 1 hour time frame now, this is the 50 period moving average. Prices above the 50 period moving average on 1 hour time frame. All right. So on this 1 hour time frame, this is 1 hour. At the end of this 1 hour, if we get a bullish pattern, for example, a bullish engulfing candle, currently on the 1 hour time frame, and then we have this bullish candle at the 50 period moving average, which is now acting as support on the 1 hour time frame. So at the end of this 1 hour, if we have a bullish engulfing candle or some other bullish pattern, then that would be our opportunity to long AUD JPY. All right, so that's for Kenny, and I hope you understand that. Okay. So before US 100, let's take US 30 first, because I remember, I'm not sure if it was last week or when we had the indices class, that I was showing us this ascending channel on US 30. Again, of course, these are just trend lines. These are two trend lines to form a channel. Now let me show you how it was drawn. Let me show you how it was drawn. I already explained how the trend line works. So in this case, we're trying to connect these resistance levels. You see it? That's the second one. We got another one right there, even here, right here as well. And then most recently, this level as well. Now, if I use horizontal line, there is no way I'll be able to capture all these other resistance levels, you see. So that's why instead of the horizontal line, I'll now choose to use the trend line, you see, and then I'll be able to connect those other resistance levels, you see. So that's my trend line right there. And then, so now I'll make it a channel. What I'll do is to take the same trend line, copy it, and then use it um, to connect the support levels. You see, the same trend line. So that's, so this is a channel now. And then I can take out these shapes and take out these rectangles. It doesn't look confusing. All right. Now, to confirm the validity of this channel now, of course, this is an ascending channel. Here support, here resistance, here support, resistance. Price give us a shallow pullback here, back to resistance, back to support, back to resistance, almost at support here, back to resistance, and currently now quite below support there. You see, is now just breaking below the trend line right here, breaking below the trend line. This is on the daily time frame. Now let's head to 1 hour to see what it looks like on 1 hour. Okay, so on 1 hour, we say it's clearer here. We have a confirmed break below the trend line support. We have a confirmed break below the trend line support. And then again, this is the 50 period moving average. You can see how this is also acting as resistance. Quite fantastic there. Quite fantastic move right there. Okay, and now below the trend line support. All right. So what does this mean now? What does this mean? Now that price is below the trend line, which means that this trend line is now resistance. This trend line has now turned to resistance. And then at the end of this 1 hour, at the end of this 1 hour, 1 hour time frame, so at the end of this 1 hour, if we also have a bearish candle, remember this previous candle here, this one here, closed below the trend line support. So that signifies weakness. That signifies weakness. All right. So if you already have a sell trade, you already have a sell trade for US 30, I believe it's really fantastic right now. So if you are looking to join, if you're looking to join, if you're looking to sell, if you're looking to join this bearish move, all right, you may need to now wait for more confirmation, which would be at the end of this 1 hour time frame. If we also have a bearish candle, then that would signify further weakness, and then we can expect price to continue to push to the downside. We can expect price to continue to push lower. You see it? I expect price to continue to push lower. However, if we eventually get a break or a close back above that resistance, that is this trend line here, then that would be bullish. That would be bullish for US 30. All right. Okay, it's quite simple, Angel. I'm going to demonstrate it again so that you can understand it. So I'm going to take this out. I'm sure you got this, the resistance, how we connected that, of course. So what you now need to do is to double click on that trend line. When you double click on it, you're going to have these three squares. You see it, one at the right side, one in the middle, and one at the left side. These tiny squares, I believe you can see it. That means that we have highlighted that trend line. You see that they have disappeared now, those tiny squares. So I'm going to double click it again, and then the tiny squares will reappear. That means that it is highlighted. What you now need to do is to hold down the control button on your laptop, to hold down the control button and then drag that same line while holding down the control button. And then you place it correctly and you drop. Right, that's it. To create the channel. You're welcome back. Okay, so that's for US 30. That's for US 30, and I hope we got that. Thank you very much. All right. So now US 100, US 100. Okay, so this is also bullish. This is also bullish. We have series of higher highs and higher lows. You see it, higher highs and higher lows, and it's really, really high right now. It has created a new all-time high, I believe. You see, a new all-time high at this resistance now. Okay, so price got to 22. Let's use a round figure, and that would be 22,150, 22,150. Okay. That's the new all-time high. All right. Now, this is really high. You don't want to be buying at such a very high price. Okay, so what it means is that we now need to wait for some correction. We now need to wait for some correction. Of course, this is still very bullish, but it's also very high. So the best or the most ideal thing to do here would be to wait for some correction. Now, how deep would the correction go? Difficult to tell. But let's see. This is the 50-period moving average. This was the last high that was created. around this level. This was the last high that was created before this new one. And then we also have this level here. Okay. All right. So this pullback, if you sell now, if you take a sell position because it's now at resistance, and then we expect some pullback from this level. Of course, if you ask me, this would be a fantastic time to sell, to take advantage of the pullback. However, that sell is against direction. This is bullish. This is bullish. That sell will be against the overall direction. Now, so we expect some correction from this resistance back to this level here. Let's take 21,700. All right. So from this resistance, from that high, from this high now, we expect from that resistance, we expect some correction, we expect some pullback to this level, for example, or much deeper, depending on what happens here when price eventually gets there, depending on what happens at that level. Okay, so this is daily time frame. This is daily time frame, 4 hours, 1 hour as well. Okay. This is what it looks like on 1 hour. Of course, this is still looking bearish. This is still looking bearish. How about 30 minutes? Okay, still bearish. All right, so we expect this to continue to be bearish towards the 50-period moving average. The 50-period moving average usually acts as magnet for price. So we expect this to be bearish towards the 50-period moving average. This is 30 minutes time frame now. Now that it's below this support, now that it's below this support. Right, so we expect this to be bearish towards the 50-period moving average. And as soon as price gets there, we'll now look for some bullish pattern there to know whether it's time to buy or continue to sell, depending on what happens at the 50-period moving average. Okay. What else do we have? We looked at Euro USD already, Pound USD not yet. Okay. Similar to Euro USD, of course, the Pound USD. So let's leave that. USD CAD. This has been very, very interesting. This has been very interesting. And I hope we took advantage of this move, because I remember I mentioned this several times. I even had to switch to the weekly time frame to make it even clearer. Now, back to weekly time frame now. Let me check out this trend line here. From this point, started from here, and then this was when we got the break above that level. All right. So between these two vertical lines now, okay, between these two vertical lines, this was sometime in 2022 September, and then this one here, 2024 October. You see it now. Between these two trend lines, we have this consolidation. You see it. we have this consolidation, resistance, support, resistance, support, resistance, support for 2 years. You see this consolidation from September 2022 to October 2024. And then eventually we got a break above the resistance, above the resistance. You see, look at this consolidation for 2 years from 2022 to 2024, this consolidation. And finally, we got this break above the resistance. And then we expect that break to be very significant. And it has proven to be so far. You see, resistance at 1.387, support at 1.33. Okay. And then back to daily now. And then we can see that since price broke above that resistance, this is the same 1.387 level, it has been quite bullish, you see, giving us series of higher highs and higher lows. And now breaking above this other resistance at around 1.42. You see, breaking above that resistance. So this is still very much bullish. This is still very much bullish. This is still very much bullish. All right, so let's look at it on 1 hour. Let's look at it on 1 hour. Okay, so we have the 50-period moving average here. We have the 50-period moving average, and you can see prices are above the 50-period moving average. Okay, so as much as possible, we're looking for opportunities to buy. We're looking for opportunities to buy at support. All right, so here we have the most recent high. Here. And then resistance here. Okay, this is 30 minutes. So what it means is that you can expect price to either come back to this support and then we look for buy opportunities from there, or this continues to push higher, break above this resistance, and then the bullish move continues from that level. The bullish move continues from that level. Very, very interesting. Okay, so I'm going to quickly look at that. That's for doing now. Okay, this happens to be one that I'm also watching. This happens to be one that I'm also watching. That's the DE30. On these assets, this is the dark zone. We also have this ascending channel, and then you can see price is now bouncing off this ascending channel. You see it? So this is support, this is resistance, support, resistance, resistance, back to support, and now back at resistance. You see it? Now this is daily time frame. And from that resistance, you can see this bearish move from that resistance and see this bearish move. Okay. So this is on the daily time frame. So what it means is that this here is the resistance, of course. So let's head over to H1 or H4 lower time frames to see the opportunities we have. All right, so right about now, price is breaking below the 50-period moving average, which further confirms the bearish move, Okay, so far, price has been trading between this support and resistance, this channel as well. So recently, it hits the trend line resistance, and then we're seeing some correction from that resistance. So what it means is that as long as it's below that resistance, we'll be looking for opportunities to sell, maybe towards this support or towards the 50-period moving average. You see, it's on 1 hour, it's already giving us a bearish structure, lower highs and lower lows. You see, so we got the most recent lower high here, and then it has now created a lower low. So you may want to wait for some correction, a pullback to a lower high, and then can join the downtrend from that level. Okay. All right. So far, is there anyone you would like me to recap that we have mentioned so far? Here, this is USD CHF. This is USD CHF. Also, just breaking above resistance, just breaking above resistance. And you could see why it's significant. This this green horizontal line as resistance and support multiple times. All right, and now price is just breaking above it. Price is just breaking above that resistance. Of course, this is quite bullish for USD CHF. Bullish for USD CHF. Didn't we look at pound USD already? Okay. So for pound USD, it tested this support, and it's now at this resistance. It's now at this resistance at 1.27. Okay. So for this bullish move to continue, since price tested the support, we now need price to break above this resistance. Let's check H4 and then H1 as well. Okay. So we need price to break above that resistance for the bullish move to continue. We need price to break this resistance. But if eventually we get a bearish pattern at this resistance, then that may signify further push to the downside, and then we may now eventually get the break above resistance. But currently, this comes down to whether we get a close above this resistance. If we don't, and instead what we see is a bearish pattern at this resistance, then that would signify weakness, and we can expect price to push lower from that resistance. We touched on gold as well. We touched on gold, and then for gold, we need price to break the support before the bullish move continues, or if it heads back to this resistance, then we may take our sell from that resistance. Of course, this is bearish. You would agree with me. This is bearish. But currently, this is now acting as support, this level here. Right. So we need price to break that support for the bullish move to continue. Oh, we didn't. Thank you for the reminder, Alphonsus. Alphonsus, I hope I got that. Time may not permit to get back to fundamental. Pounds JPY, did we touch on pounds JPY? I doubt that. pounds JPY. Okay. All right. So for pound JPY, I see this ascending channel right here, and price recently tested the support of that channel, and it's now pushing higher from that level. It's now pushing higher from that level. Okay, so let's see 4 hours. Okay, so on the 1 hour time frame now, we may need to wait for this candle to close. We confirm a bullish engulfing candle there, and then can expect the bullish move to continue for pounds JPY. Can expect the bullish move to continue for pounds JPY. All right. I believe there are no more questions. Yeah, we jump straight to technicals. Jump straight to technicals. That's Alfonso Ikediashi. All right. In the absence of further questions, I believe it's a good place to call it a day for today. You can call it a day. Today, Tuesday, you can join us from 2 p.m. where we're going to be looking at indices. We're going to be focusing on indices from 2 p.m. today. And then tomorrow, Wednesday, the morning markets review continues from 8 a.m. All right. So that's about it for today. Thank you for joining. I wish us a great trading day. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time.